Hey guys, welcome to the Surface Plate, and I'm finally getting around to doing some viewer projects. This comes to us from John Dodge over at Dodge Construction, and I just got a piece of tape over his address and his phone number just for privacy's sake. Now I'm going to show you what I got here. I've got a couple of vices. This is a piece of just plain mild angle iron, at probably 836, like a structural type steel. And he's got two sides milled. I'm going to show you here. He's got the top milled and this bottom milled, and then he's milled this bottom edge right here. And we're going to indicate off the bottom edge right here and get it parallel. And you can see I've got a couple of aluminum rods in there up against the raw mill finish here, just so it indexes in to this back milled side. Zoom you over here, and I got it pretty close for a milled finish. He did pretty good. He got it pretty straight. So we got a tenth over zero there. I'm going to go ahead and tighten to the vise here. A couple tenths over. It's within 3 or 4 tenths over this 12-inch. And we're going to get in here. There's 3 over. Go in the center. On 0. Go back here. On 0. I'm trying to get my head in here and not block the camera. And a couple below. Oh, shoot. That one's right on 0. Let's go back and check a couple more of those. I bumped it pretty hard. There's 2. We're getting the same numbers. 0. We got a hump in the center, so it was a little shy. No, you're right there. 0. 0. Okay, pretty good. So we're ready to. We know the bottom's parallel. We know the back is straight up and down. I know both these vices are already square. So I'm going to show you that setup one last time. 2 vices, round rod, little aluminum rod. I didn't have room for any screw balls. Sorry, Chuck. Now this is a pretty fragile setup. You don't want to bump it or knock it around hard. Grinding doesn't create any pressure, but if you were to, set this down on the mag hard or something, there's a good chance it could move. Let's see how far off this top is. It's tip my gauge down just a tad. And see if we can get in on this top and figure out where our high and low is and see where we need to start. This is probably quite a bit of grinding. I'm sure it's out quite a bit. This is 0 up there. And you're pretty close. That's a +1. This is our highest point here. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a +7. So we're probably going to touch off right around here. That's going to be our touch off point. That's going to be the high spot. Okay. Let's go over the surface grinder. I'm going to try it on the new 618. See how that thing does. Okay, well you can see where we've touched off here. I'm hoping you can see where we've touched off. I don't have any light on this thing. I don't have any coolant on this thing yet. But we did a light touch off, and we knew we were high. We're getting high readings around here. It was really jumpy, so I'm going to give it about a thou down feed and traverse back across to me and see how we do. Let's keep going with this thing. Okay, I forgot I had a little Noga, one of the Noga mini cools loose just over by the mill. I forgot I bought an extra one, so it's sitting around. So it's easy to plug in. Just hook up a bucket, hook it up to some air. It's got its own little valve, and you can adjust the flow right here, but that flows pretty good. All right, let's see if we can do this without fogging up the camera. Okay, well, we got one surface done. I'll tip it up and show it to you. There it is there. Looks pretty nice. A little scallopy, but so far pleased with the results. I checked it. I did the rock test. I put it down on the surface plate to check it for rock. It sat nice and flat. We're going to do a final squaring now because this machine surface has got a kind of a dip to it, and we're going to finish the squaring. I've got the freshly ground surface up against the fixed jaw. I've got an aluminum rod right there. You can probably barely see, there it is hanging out there. Got an aluminum rod behind this jaw into the work, and the vise is tightened, and we're pretty close here. You know, we've got let me tip the camera down a little bit. We're at 3. I'll just slide across, so you know, half thou, low. So not terrible. We should be able to grind this up pretty quick. And this will do the final squaring and get these two sides square. Then we've only got one little edge to do, and we're done. So let's get this ground. Okay, well, we got our part off of the surface grinder. We've finished this side here, and it was pretty bad. It had a bad low spot in one corner and had kind of a dish in the bottom, so we got it straightened out. So we got two sides, and we've checked it. I checked it 2 different ways. I checked it with a cylinder square, and I also checked it with a Tessa blade edge. Now, if you have these two, these are pretty much self-checking. You get this square going, and you have to check a cylinder square north, south, east, and west, and that's what those white dots are on there. And just get back here with a flashlight and observe the blade edge, and you check it north, east, south, west. So you check it. You can check it 4 different ways. Same results all the way around. You know, your cylinder square is good, and that double checks your blade edge square. So I was able to check John's angle with that. So we've done it with a cylinder square. You can come in with a cylinder square and roll it in. Make sure everything's sitting down tight, and shine a light in the back and check for. It'll come through as kind of a blue light anywhere you've got a slight gap, so you'll be able to see it very easily. We've only got one thing left to do. We've got 2 sides that we know are square. We've got 2 sides that we know are flat. We've checked both sides for rock, and we've checked both sides for squareness. But his one edge right here that he machined, we need to curve or create a radius in a grinding wheel and go ahead and make a pass across that with this down flat on the table to get this surface completely parallel with what we've already ground here. Now, we set it up initially, you know, horseshoes and hand grenades, just to get it you know, so we're not grinding a bunch of material off or removing as little material as possible. But let's get a measurement on this thickness, calculate that radius, and then we'll do a surface grinder wheel with the radius and tangent dresser, and we'll set that up here on the plate. I'll bring you back for that. Okay, so we've got our diamond pointed straight down. We're set at 180 degrees right here. Straight down. Come on. There it is. All right, so our diamond's pointed straight down, and let's go over what we want to do here. We want to duplicate this radius, which is the full thickness of the material. We don't have to cut it in half. We're not making a full round. We're only making a quarter round. And our material thickness, I just came up with 340. That's what I came up with. It's not very consistent because of the scale, but I'm just going to call it 340 to create that. Now, our center height is 3.400, and we want to deduct 340 from that. So there's the math. 3.4 is our absolute centerline height to be 0. We're going to deduct 340, so we need a gauge block stack 3.060. And in a strange turn of events, I have one all set up right here, ready to go. You have to be very careful with the gauge block stacks. You don't want to slam that diamond into one of your gauges. So you want to be very gentle with your bringing the diamond down to touch that gauge block. And then just after it's in contact, just kind of keeps a little pressure on it and tighten your set screw. Now, when you're done with this, don't slide your gauge block stack out. You'll scratch your gauge block. Just lift, put your thumb and forefinger in between there, and get that stack out of there. And if you want to check the gauge block that you used, ring it against one of the other ones. Make sure you didn't create a high spot on it. Make sure they were still ringed together and you didn't create a some kind of inclusion or something on it. All right, so now our radius is no longer rotating around center. Now I'm gonna hold it kind of down and over here, because look what it's doing now. See, now we're making we're gonna be cutting a concave into that wheel. So let's go over on the surface grinder and cut that radius. Okay, I'm kind of hoping you can see what's going on there. We're going to start up here. And we're just going to start working the down feed and the side feed all at the same time until we start hearing some contact like that. I've already dressed this wheel a little bit by hand with a carborundum stone. We've almost got it. There we got full contact there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's get set up on the. Let's get set up with our part. All right, we're just going to run till we start seeing some contact here. This was kind of nice about the traverse, the auto traverse. But let's run it a little bit. I think I remember it being a little low on this side, so we're probably going to end up touching off over here first. So let's see if we can get some contact. Okay, well we got our base ground, our 90, and we just finished up the radius on the machine where I showed you how to set up the tangent dresser and how to grind a radius. And now this radius should be parallel, or as parallel as the chuck is. I have not ground that chuck on the machine, and I've got this set up to 0 me here. So I'm right at, tenth below. Let me tweak that down. Okay. Okay, so we're calling that a 0. And about in the middle, 2/10. Yeah, 3/10 below. And let's find our high spot here. There's 6/10. So 6/10 over 12 inches. Not bad for an unground chuck. Pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with my first results with that, with the 618. Okay, Mr. Dodge, this is coming back to you. It's ready for you to do whatever it is you were going to do with it. All right, guys, thanks for watching.